Hello and welcome to the 100-Ton Climate Diet, my plan for what we should all be doing as individuals to help stop dangerous climate change. My starting point is the report from the IPCC in October 2018 about why 1.5 degrees of warming is about as much as the planet can take. In that report, you'll find a crucial number. The amount of remaining carbon dioxide that we can fly tip into the atmosphere if we're to avoid dangerous climate change. That number was 770 billion tonnes. If we emit no more than the equivalent of another 770 billion tonnes of carbon dioxide, then there's a 50-50 chance that we'll avoid a temperature rise of more than 1.5 degrees centigrade. But that's the limit for the whole world. Putting it that way makes it sound like it's somebody else's problem. I don't accept that. I want to know what I need to do, what my family needs to do. How do I make sure that I play my part? One nice simple way to look at it is to say that 770 billion tonnes should be shared across all of us. There are 7.7 billion people on the planet at the moment. That's a nice coincidence. 770 billion tonnes shared by 7.7 billion people is, of course, 100 tonnes each. If everyone made sure they kept their remaining emissions below that level, the problem would be solved. But that's not easy. We all emit greenhouse gases because of what we eat, gases because of the way we get around, and we emit a lot of greenhouse gas because of the things that we buy. On average, we all emit about 6 tonnes a year of carbon dioxide. Now, at that rate, the budget will be blown in 16 years. For those of us in relatively affluent countries, it's worse. Our emissions are higher than that. Here in the UK, our emissions are about 13 tonnes a year each. I'm going to blow my budget in only 8 years. So I've got to do something about that. What am I going to do? I think we all need to go on a diet. We all need to go on a climate diet. Here's my diet plan. And I do mean it's my plan. This is what I am personally doing, so I can look my kids in the eye in 20 years and tell them that I tried. First step is to immediately drop 2 tonnes per year in emissions. So instead of 13 tonnes, going down to 11 tonnes. And that turns out to be quite easy. What I need to do is I need to buy less stuff, make the things I have last longer. I need to change the way I get around. Stop using aeroplanes, don't use the car so much, go by train, walk, cycle. I also need to make changes to my diet. My diet needs to be more plant-based. And with those changes I can get down to 11 tonnes. But that's not enough, I need to do more than that. The next bit of my plan is to try and get the whole country to net zero in 25 years, to campaign for that along with millions of other people. And we know how to do that. We need to change the way we generate energy. We need to change the way we farm. We need to change the way we get around. We know how to do all of these things. We just need to get on with it. And getting on with it is largely about tax policy. We need to make it expensive to pollute. At the moment, dumping carbon dioxide into the atmosphere is free. That has to change. But we must change it in a way that is socially fair and that does not penalise the least well off. We need policies like a climate income. Google that if you want to find out more. If my country makes these changes, then my emissions will come down too. By dropping a couple of tonnes, I should be down to about 11 tonnes a year anyway, but if that's then brought down to zero over 25 years, then my final emissions will be about 138 tonnes. I'm a little overdrawn still. I need something else. Well, I could plant some trees. In fact, I'm off to Scotland in a few weeks to do precisely that. You could do all these things too, including planting some trees. You don't even have to do it yourself, you can pay someone else to do it. But with these 3 steps, dropping a couple of tonnes, campaigning for an earlier date for zero emissions, and planting some trees, it's quite possible to get your remaining emissions below 100 tonnes. If I can do it, anyone can.